Paul Berry, what are your thoughts with the migration toward renting? Is this a trend we're going to continue to see?
Well, I just had this conversation with my daughter. She got her first job. She's up in college at Fort Lewis. She just got her first job, $18.75 an hour.
Golly, almost $19 an hour.
Yeah. She worked, I don't know how many hours it was. I don't know the math, but she got a $400 check, right?
Wow.
She can't afford anything. That was 2 weeks worth of work because she's part-time, because she's a student. I said, it's going to take you just to get a first and last on a place up in Durango. Months.
Oh, and good luck even finding a place up there, and you're going to have roommates.
And you're going to have a ton of roommates, and then you have no money for living. So I think I'm going to go back to what we talked about before. I mean, wages are at a point right now where affordability is just running away from us, whether it's buying or renting. Rents are still going up. I'm not an advocate of rent control either, but there's at some point we've got to address the underlying issue, which is costs are so high and wages are so low. Like we talk about affordability in homes, it still costs as much as the homes are worth. It's not like you can build a house for $100,000 and sell it for $400,000. That's not what's going on. The replacement cost of homes is still about where they're valued at right now. And people can't afford it.
I still think a big solution would be tax incentives for
the builders.
For the builders.
Yeah.
Because that's what we need. We need homes.
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I think. I think we've talked about this before. I do think there's a wage issue, but I don't think that's going to solve the issue. I think we have a supply and demand issue.
Yeah, right now I agree.
I think that's our biggest
I think we have
problem.
a wage issue too, but we need more houses, like millions more homes in the U.S.
But if we have millions more houses, I mean, does that really bring them back to affordability?
I actually don't think it will, because they're going to be nicer homes, because you can build a house and just put in a few more upgrades, build it in a certain part of town, and you're going to be able to sell that exact same house for more.
Exactly.
But
there's no incentive for the builder to build, a tiny home for somebody that's actually affordable. We said this a couple of podcasts ago. Who's going to take the hit? Is it the builder? Is it the buyer? Is it the seller? Somebody's got to take a hit for affordability.
And right now it's the buyer.
And it's the buyer.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the cost of concrete boards, nails, roofing material, all that stuff is not going down. So
and we have a economy right now where we're tariffing everything. So anything that's coming from outside the country costs
wood.
A lot more. So wood, we're not really harvesting here anymore. We've got to get it from overseas.
We get almost everything from Canada. Yeah.
And there's heavy tariff issues with Canada right now. So we're not helping the cost issue. So when we talk about affordable housing, and then we're saying, well, we need fairness in our trade, well, that doesn't help with affordable housing. So if we have to put out more inventory, that's at a higher cost.
Yeah, but in converse to that, so you have the tariffs that are driving prices up. Fair enough there. But there's also a lot of job creation. And that really goes to the core of, in my opinion, what the biggest issue is bringing wages up. And so, if you just kind of relate yourself to grandma who gave you $5 when you graduated, right? To her, that $5 was a lot of money. Now it's the same thing for us. When we give $100 for a graduation, that to us is a lot of money.
And it's like,
that's
nothing.
That's nothing. That's like a dinner and a movie.
Well, for like Paul's example with his daughter, $19 an hour. In college, I was making $10 an hour, and I could afford a nice place to rent. Mm-hmm. I rented a place for me and Logan, and it was nice, and it was, safe, and I did have 2 roommates, but that's fine. You're in college, that's what you expect. But I was working full time too. Let's say even someone working full time in college making $20 an hour, I don't even think they could afford a place in Durango. I still don't think she could find somewhere to get up there. And also not even that. I mean, have you guys looked at the price per pound of chicken lately? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I felt like back in my day, I was at Sam's Club yesterday. I'm like, it's $5 a pound. Remember it was 99 cents a pound? And they were literally the smallest pieces of chicken I've ever seen in my life.
We got 5 grocery bags last night. $235.
Yeah.
So it's not just the housing cost. It's people also can't afford life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything is expensive.
So then it goes back to, again, the wage disparity between the affordability. Like you were saying, Paul, the affordability is running away from us we got to supplement the wages, because that's not going to come down. Again, concrete, boards, nails, the price of those don't ever come down.
Well,
right?
and then if you increase what you're paying the workers, there's another increased cost that you have to make up on the back end.
Sure.
When you sell that product, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So it's a tough problem.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody has a really solid solution right now. I think it's a holistic problem, which is going to need a large scale holistic solution.
So you think that the renting trend, because that's the topic of the podcast today, is going to continue?
Well, I think too, we're in a instant gratification. Like, I need this done now. It's much easier to call the landlord, have the landlord come and fix it, as opposed to waiting for the next check to come in, possibly be able to pay to fix the heater, the AC or something like that broke. Whereas you can pay the same every month and have somebody else fix that AC. It's their investment. I think there's an easier, for people that aren't making that much, can't afford the luxuries.
Yeah, the risk is a lot less.
Yeah. Then they don't have those unexpected expenses that we do.
The risk is you might have to find another place to rent whenever your lease comes up, or they raise the rent. That's
and they don't need the
risk.
rainy day fund that most of us need that owns something. If the heater goes out, I got to have the funds to fix that. Whereas they just call somebody and go.
Yeah, usually they don't finance hot water heaters or furnaces. I mean, now they're starting to create some options for that. But yeah, if you have a major issue, you better have the funds to be able to pull it, or room on your credit card. That's a tough situation. I do think that it's going to be a trend that's not going to go away for a while because of the affordability factor. People are really going to be more cautious with where they put their money, make sure they're stacking their chips before they make a move.
Well, another number that we have, what's the median income in New Mexico? 48,000, I think. More?
No, it's about that. Yeah, the average
50,000?
home that a person in New Mexico, all of New Mexico, could afford is about $160,000.
And the average home price is
over $300,000.
315.
Yeah. So you have 45,000. Is that considered poverty level?
Yeah.
I mean,
one thing that I think is a pro for New Mexico, I don't want to say a pro, but it kind of is we do get more back in tax from the federal government than we pay out. So one thing that I think it is actually going to really help people, and I already have some friends that are so thankful for it, is the free childcare. Seeing the free childcare, the free college, and I know it's not free. I know someone pays for it, but I'm happy for my tax dollars to go to helping people who need it, because then the money's going back in the economy. They're able to go to work. Maybe now they have 2 incomes instead of just one because someone doesn't have to stay home. There's more daycare workers. Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it than just that. So I'm hoping that since that was just implemented, maybe we see that help people be able to afford. I know
that's the Democrat over there advocating for trickle-down economics.
But I mean, it's true though, because if someone has to stay home, that means they're not working. That means they're having to save more. That, it just, you're not able to go out to eat. You're not able to do all of these things that you would be able to do now that you have. Like, I would not go to work if I was only bringing home $400 a month, working full time, and my kids were in daycare. I would just cut costs and stay home.
My wife was a full-time teacher, had her degree, had her certification. She stayed home for 10 years because when we did the math on it, childcare would have cost more than she would have made working full-time.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that actually frees up some stuff for people. I'm interested to see how that turns out.